everyone, welcome back to Paul's Model Works, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about weathering models and my journey over this last year on learning how to do that. As you guys can see, I have got 3 models that I built this year that were all weathered using the salting method. If you're not familiar with that, it's where you use salt to chip your paint and things like that. And Dr. Cranky has some great tutorial videos on that in his archives. And if you're not subscribed to him, then you need to check it out. And I'll put a link to his channel underneath my video. But I did the salting method with these, and this was kind of a year of experimentation for me. As you guys know, I don't build a lot of models very quickly. So this year I only built 4 models, and out of that 4, these 3 were my weathered ones. The first one was the Henry J. Gasser. Then we had the 49 Woody. And then of course we have our Cadillac ambulance here. And so, you know, one thing I did use was this book here. It's the Rats, Rods, and Rust. Again, just another little plug for Dr. Cranky here. But this book has a wealth of information in it on weathering up your models and using some of the various methods of weathering that are out there. And so if this, is something you want to get into, I would definitely recommend getting a hold of one of those books, and it will help you out tremendously. But I got my first one here, which was, I'm very happy with it. It turned out great. But I was, learning. I didn't get quite as much chipping in the paint that I was looking for. Then I moved on to the Woody, and it was more of a mild weathered vehicle. This one was kind of learning how to give it the paint not overly chipped and rusted. And then one thing about this one that I really learned a lot on was weathering, the chassis and using, washes and different stuff like that. So this model was great on learning that side of it. And then, of course, my recent build, which is an extreme weathered model. And it was kind of fun because this was a lot of layering and, learning how to achieve the right look with that. If you do want to start building weathered models, you've got to use acrylic paint for this stuff. And I know I've said it in previous videos, but I have become very acquainted with the ammo from Mig Jimenez products. They have an acrylic weathering, all kinds of weathering paints and washes and different stuff like that, and very easy to use, and I recommend those very highly. But you definitely want to use acrylic paints for this kind of stuff. Your other paints are not going to work. Now this type of stuff here, with the salt chipping and all of that, your best results are going to be with an airbrush. So you definitely want to do it with that, and because you're able to put down much thinner coats and control your spray and everything much easier. But for me, it's been kind of cool because I've wanted to do this stuff and I've kind of wanted to try it out and everything. And of course, I got hooked. I wasn't necessarily planning on doing 3 weathered models. But once I started the Henry J, it just went from there, and it's actually a lot of fun, and you can get very creative with it. It's in some ways it's easier than building a shiny model because you don't have to worry about the overall finish at the end and getting that perfect gloss clear coat and all of that stuff. But in other ways, it's quite challenging in its own right, because you've got to achieve that rusty look and make it look realistic. So it's got its own set of challenges. But I would say that if you're wanting to try something rusty, just do it. You know, there's really no wrong way. And especially when you're doing like these really heavily rusted vehicles, you know, it's so easy to really not even make a mistake, because if you do, you can cover it, you can fix it. I mean, most of the time, there's a whole bunch of stuff in this where I was making it and I'm like, oh no, you know, and then by the time I was done, it's like, now you can't even tell. So it's kind of fun. And I think that, you know, it's something I'm definitely going to continue to do. You know, now that I've done 3, I think I want to do a shiny model next, and continue to work on my skills in getting that really great, you know, finished coat on my shiny models. But this has been fun to do, and it's definitely going to be something that I'm going to keep doing, and keep building these rusty rat rods and junkers and different things like that. So anyway, you know, I just wanted to share with you guys that, and hopefully maybe I can inspire somebody else to try out one of these rusty models, and see where you guys can go from there. So anyway, that's it for me. Stay tuned and keep building those awesome models, and eat, sleep, styrene. I'll talk to y'all later.